Yay Media Group.
Welcome, everybody. This is Real Talk Kim. This is my podcast, and this is a special podcast because this whole month I will be bringing bosses, just people that God has connected me to that are literally changing the world. They love Jesus, but they're changing the world with the gift that God has given them. And so make sure that you are pushing that subscribe button right now. Go to that subscribe button wherever you're watching it, whether Spotify, Podbean, Apple, Android, YouTube, anywhere you're listening, iHeartRadio, push that subscribe button because it'll remind you every time that we drop a new podcast, which is every Wednesday at 4 a.m. And you can watch a new episode. And, you know, this year, God has really challenged me to allow people to have a voice, like to use what God's given me to help others' voices get out there. And so I feel really honored and privileged that I'm sitting here with a group of beautiful bosses that have been with me, a lot of them a year, and some of them have been with me a couple of months. And I just feel really honored that God has used me as a trailblazer to really put some fire in their tails, and they're all going to do so much more than me. So I think it's going to encourage you today because the enemy really uses age, failure, fear, thinking we're not good enough. We're not married, so we can't be used. We're a woman, so we can't be used. And so I am excited because today, so you share and follow right now. Just go on and push that share and follow. I am really excited today because I've got this beautiful Vanita. Tell us who you are.
Wow. I am
Put that mic up to your face.
Vanita
there,
McCullum. I am a author, a podcast host myself, and a mother, author of this amazing book, Raising a Rapper. I am the mother of two. My son is a producer, an artist, a actor. He's all of those things, a businessman. And I'm his business manager. A lot of people know him. He goes by Lil Yachty. And then I am the mother of an amazing 21-year-old daughter, Nina. So I do a lot. I do a whole lot.
I love that.
Yes.
And you know what I love about you before we really get started in on this? I think the thing that I love about you is I've been in entertainment. Mm-hmm. I did Preachers of Atlanta.
You did.
I have, God's really allowed me to be in certain rooms. But when I tell you, you are like the most humble. You were early today. I was even thinking I'd have to put probably one of our groups up first because every single experience that I've ever had, they will be 2 hours late. We'll be waiting on them. I'm talking even events. These people come rolling up when Jesus is going to bed. And so I love that about you. I love that you are so humble and so kind, and because it's not even that you have a son called Little Yachty. It's that you are a boss yourself in your own right. Like if your Little Yachty wasn't your son, you would still be killing it because that's why Little Yachty's who Little Yachty is, because of you.
Yeah.
And so I love that about you. What is it in you that allows you to remember who you are so that you don't get to a place where you feel better than everybody else?
Oh, gosh. Well, first of all, because I know that these things they're just blessings. You know, I think a lot of times in this industry, I always tell people they see the glory, but they don't know my story. You know, a lot of these things, they're just things. The cars, the handbags, the whatever it is, the jewelry, they're just things, And I think what really keeps me humble is I haven't always had these things. I've always worked. I come from corporate America, but I also know that, God giveth and he also taketh. So I don't take it for granted. I don't let it become me. They're just things. And I also know what it's like to not have. I'm in a very good place now and I'm very grateful. But I also know when I was a single parent, what it's like to not have your mortgage money or your rent or your car payment or I can even remember getting in the car, going to work and getting to work and saying, okay, God, now I got here. how I'm gonna get home. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all remember that?
And
Anybody
you know
ever been there?
you start praying and you like, okay, or you got to get the kids some things for church. I mean for school, and you going in all your bags, you know, looking for that extra 20 in the seat. I mean, I know what all that's like. Now, I've never been homeless or anything like that, but it can happen to any of us, you know. And so I'm very grateful for that. And whenever I meet people, I meet them where they are because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? And I see myself in anyone. And I don't like people. A lot of times people, because I'm in the position that I am, they misconstrue who I really am because they see the packaging. They, you know, they look at me and they just say things like, "Oh, she's just some rich lady." I'm not relatable to them because they don't get to know me. You know what I'm saying? And then when they sit down with me, they're like, "Oh gosh, she's really cool." And then too, you know, as sad as it say, they think, "Oh, she's a gold digger, or she's gonna be this, or she's gonna be that." You know why
though? I think because we live in Atlanta, and there's a lot of fake in Atlanta. And there's a lot of celebrities in Atlanta. We got Housewives of Atlanta, and we've got. And I would think a lot of times that they would put you in that.
In that bunch, in that circle, and that's definitely
not saying anything bad. We love y'all,
right? We love them. I'm friends with some of those women, and I love them. But that's just not who I am. You know, I think I am just as down to earth. And a lot of people say that when they meet me, like, "Gosh, you are so cool. I thought you were gonna be so different."
I did.
Yeah.
Like when I met you, I didn't know who he was because you know I'm old. You know, I'm seasoned.
Yeah.
But
seasoned. Yeah.
When I really started seeing what you've accomplished, I was like, man, she's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And so I agree with all of them.
Yeah, and I've done the work, the hard work, and I've been there. Like, I know this life isn't easy. So in this role that I'm in now, I like to help people and give all the knowledge that we've gained to parents, because so many parents have kids that want to be rappers, or they want to be producers, or they want to be YouTubers. And like even when my son came to me, my dream for him was college. You know, I come from Gary, Indiana. You have three choices. You go to the military, you go to the steel mill, or you go to college.
Wow.
And so I chose to go to college. And so that was the only life that I knew. You go to college, you get a job, you get married, you buy a house. That was what I knew. And so when he said he was not going to college, I said, "Yes, you are. You're going to college." So I pushed him into college. And he called me every day and he said, "I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be rich. I'm supposed to be doing music, Mom. I'm not supposed to be here." And I'd be like, "Yeah, you're going to be fine. You going to the game this weekend?" I just kept talking about it. And for about a month, 2 months, I just kept pushing. He was in college. He went to Alabama State, and I just kept pushing it on him. And finally, one day he came to me and he said, "Mom, they don't like me and I don't like them. I'm leaving." And so he packed up Alabama and he left. And so I'm thinking, oh my God, my Black son is not going to have an education. What is he going to do?
Wow.
And he came home, and I had two choices to make. Either I support him or I turn my back on him. And so when he came home, he said, "Mom, I'm telling you, I'm going to be rich."
Away.
Yeah, because I was like, "You need to go to college. That's what you need to do." And so when he came home, he had his phone one day and he said, "Mom, look, I'm telling you, I'm going to be famous. People are listening to my music." And I took the phone and I looked at it and I was like, I better get on getting this kid's business plan together and getting his, LLC and everything in order. And I started to do that. And everything after that just fell in line. After that, he was signed
to crazy.
Yeah, he was signed to a major record label. Then he was signed to Capitol Records.
Hold on. Y'all, we got to go to a break. Okay. But she gonna tell you how to do it, because there's a lot of you that are in a position where and I'm showing a lot of leg. Hey! Did you see that leg? It was just. But we'll be right back right after this. You do not want to miss this. Everybody, and welcome back. I am so excited because I've got Vanita with me, and Vanita is a boss just all the way around. She's a momager. She is a business owner, but more importantly, I love what you've just released right here, Raising a Rapper. How do you not get lost in Lil Yachty?
Oh God.
How do you still have because you are powerful in your own right. How do you handle number one? How do you handle being called, "This is Lil Yachty's mom"?
Right.
Like we've got Francine Chapman here, Dog's wife. I am the worst. You know, Dog, the bounty hunter, is his wife. And how do you not allow yourself to feel minimized by what you do when you carry so much oil yourself?
It's hard. And a lot of times I forget. And a lot of times, like you said, a lot of times people say your kids are the way they are because of you. And a lot of times I forget that. And I do become Lil Yachty's mom. Because, I'm out, I go through drive-thrus, I meet people on the street, and they don't say, hey, you're Miss V or you're Vanita. They say, oh, you're Lil Yachty's mom. And so I do kind of become that. But what I do is I just kind of use it to my benefit. And that is my time to kind of pour into these kids or these kids' parents, what I've learned in these 10 years. This year will be 10 years that we've taken this journey. Who would have ever thought?
Like 10 years. Lasted this long.
Yes, 10 years. So that I give that's my opportunity to actually bless people and pour into people.
So you don't get up. You just man, this is
No, I don't get offended at all. Because I like I told you, I feel like I birthed the baby Jesus because he's such a good kid. And I've learned so much from him, So I just take it and
were you married to their father?
I was for 12 years. Yeah, for 12 years.
Volumes that y'all could walk through a divorce and these kids still stay solid because he's he's not a bad kid.
Yeah, and we still co-parent because we have a granddaughter now and then I've got another daughter. So we still kind of co-parent, even in that they're adults. We still get together and do things together. Yeah.
What made you write this book, Raising a Rapper?
Oh gosh, because there's so many gems and there's so many things that people don't know. And to also encourage parents when your kids come to you and they say they want to do these things like be a gamer or a dancer or whatever, to just get on board because you never know. You may be on their payroll. I've been on his payroll for 10 years. Who would have ever thought?
I keep telling my kids, go do something and get me on your payroll.
Yeah. And I was in corporate America and I left to come out and to work for him. So you just never know. Had I told him, no, you can't do that. You don't need to do that.
So what was he doing, putting his stuff online? Because we've got a lot of business women in this room.
Yeah.
What was it?
He was putting his music out on SoundCloud and places like that for other people to hear. And someone heard it and made a meme out of it and it just went viral. And I say it's God. I think he just had favor on his life. Yeah, it was favor on his life.
I always tell people that it doesn't matter if nobody supports you. When God's hands on your life, he'll just open the doors.
Oh, yeah. And I think this was just for him. Yeah.
And so he got from putting his music out there, and then all of a sudden he just became...
Yeah, he started out, it's funny, he did Kanye West's fashion show. Then from Kanye West's fashion show, he was signed to Quality Control. That's a label he signed to. And then from there, he was signed to Capitol Records. And then it's been uphill from there. And we did all that in a matter of probably 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, from him coming home from college. Him dropping out saying, I'm going to be a celebrity. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to be... famous. And so I was almost forced to get on board or either let this industry take advantage of my child.
And you've done so great. You're like I guess Kris Kardashian.
Yeah. She's a momager. Yeah.
She's a momager.
Yeah.
And she does very well with all her kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you another question. So being in the world that you're in, you're writing books, you're, a great guy's that a big role model for a bunch of kids. You're his mom. You also have another daughter. How do you mother well, not the artist, but the child in both of them?
Yeah.
Because you got one daughter, I can only imagine what she may feel, the pressure,
Yeah.
So how do you mom well, not who they are, especially being a businesswoman, because you got a whole bunch of us single business moms in here. And we got to know what hat to wear. Yeah. How do you know
prayer
what hat?
First, you got to do a lot of praying.
A
lot of praying, a lot of throwing oil. And then I think a lot of it starts at the root. I come from a praying mom. I was a praying mom. My in-laws are praying people. So a lot of it starts with prayer. And a lot of it starts with, organization and just, reiterating to your children what you've always taught them. And that's something that I'm very proud of because when he does business with a lot of these labels, these big brands, they always say, they tell me thank you. And I'm really thrown back and they're like, thank you because you raised a really good kid. He's on time.
I love when people tell me that.
And so it just makes me proud. But a lot of this started way back when they were young, showing up
and
real quick.
You co-parent well.
Yeah.
I really think
but
that's
a lot
huge.
of that is just biting a bullet and doing what you got to do for your kids. Because it's not really something you want to do.
There's a lot of people that don't do it at all, and they're not doing it well.
You got to take yourself out of it, because we don't want to do it.
You got to love your kids more than you hate each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
So y'all, that right there is a huge part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I took a lot of L's, as the kids say, to make this thing work, you know? But it's
And that's
okay.
also why you're blessed now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's also why your son
And I know
loves
that.
his mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of times, even in NFL, when people get so big, they disconnect from the mom that's protecting them. And
Yeah.
I've even learned that in my own businesses.
Mhm.
Like my son is over my product.
Yeah.
And since my son has taken over my product, it has literally grown, I would say 100%.
Yeah.
Like we are out of everything. And I think it's the blessings of the family.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
it's crazy how my kids, I never thought in a million years they'd love Jesus just because they saw me be such a hypocrite for so long.
Wow.
My daddy was a preacher. They saw so much junk and, you know, a sanctified hypocrite that God allowed me in their presence to grow. And to now the kids work with me. And there's nothing better in this world than being able to know that your kids are killing it.
Yeah.
My kids are hard workers, but it's because they watched their mom. Now I got another question. Here's another question.
Mhm.
The next question is, how do you're in this world, and we talked in our masterminds this week about being single and a boss, and how so often it's hard to feel like something's not okay with you. You know, I hear this a lot. I usually get a DM every day from somebody saying, I just feel, I want to get married so bad. I want to be. How do you handle yourself in this big world? Because there's stalkers out here.
Yeah.
There's people that are jealous. There's cancel culture. They're watching your P's and Q's. How do you do that as a single woman?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard. I try to stay focused and not give up because I watched my mom pass away single. And so I don't want to do that. But at the same time,
So you want to get married?
I would like to.
You know I'm a matchmaker.
I would like to. I would love to get married again. So I just kind of pray about it and step back. Because they say when you don't focus on it, then it'll happen. And it's been a long time. I've been divorced 19 years now. No, 20 years, because my daughter's 21.
How? Because you're so fine.
21 years, yeah. But that's another thing that comes with this industry. A lot of times, men kind of look at you and they just sum you up. And they don't even take the chance to get to know you. They just summed you up. No, I don't want to deal with that.
For all you singles that are watching that are going to try to connect with Vanita, you have to go through me first now. Because she needs somebody to be like, nope. Because they're going to watch this and be like, man,
But I definitely would like a partner at least.
That's what
marriage would be nice. But, you know, I just kind of move on and do my own thing. Because I think when you focus on it, it's just too much hard work.
Does it ever get lonely?
Yeah. Oh, all the time. Yeah. All the time.
Because you go to a lot of, like, I love your page, y'all. She is like a fashionista.
Yes. And do a lot of events. And sometimes you just got to roll with the punches and go with your girlfriends and keep it moving because it just may not happen, you know? And today is my birthday. And I said today when my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Yes. And I said.
Happy birthday. I got you some gifts back there.
Okay. Yes. You know, I said another year. Alone.
How old are you?
I'm not telling you. A woman never tells her age.
There's somebody that's having a birthday right now as a celebrity. She said,
like this. I'm somewhere in between 40 and 60.
I love that.
And
you're gorgeous.
40 and 60.
You know they say black don't crack.
Yeah, they do.
Well, you ain't cracking, baby.
Mm-hmm. So it gets real lonely, you know? Yeah. But you just have to kind of keep moving and, you know, just trust that God's going to bring someone before you leave this earth, you know?
Yeah. So what's next for you?
Oh, gosh. I've got several things next. So about to go on a tour.
Because we're so excited to watch.
We're going on a world tour right now, starting February.
With him?
Yes.
What does that look like?
Oh, my gosh. We're going to start in Minnesota, and we're going across the world. It's going to take 9 months.
Are you on planes?
On plane? No, we're on a bus. You take the plane first to get to your destination, and then you go across the world on a bus. Yeah. Until we get to the UK, till we get overseas, then we take another plane, then take another bus. 9 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you get to walk in and see all these people yelling for your son.
I run the whole show. So it's up to me to get everybody where they need to go.
Oh, she's been humble.
Yeah, and pay everyone and make sure
Y'all
the
do like
show
big
goes
venues like
on.
Madison Square Gardens?
We're going on arena tour. Now we're opening. We're support for Tyler,
now, you
the
know
Creator.
this woman. I got a woman over here that ran Madison Square Gardens, so y'all might
we'll
want
be
to
going
connect.
there. Yeah.
You might want her to do some of your
We'll
work.
be there a couple of days, but we're support on this tour. We're not headlining this tour. We're support, for another artist.
You love these tours?
I do.
So what are they like?
But I stay behind. I don't really go. But this year my daughter's going to go. So this will be fun for her. She's going to work and she's going to go. But I'm on the back end making sure that they get in the hotels and that the bus drivers get paid and that payroll gets done and all those things. Yeah.
You a boss?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a
I
lot
need to
of
go
fun.
check out Little Yachty. How many of y'all know who Little Yachty is?
Yeah.
Y'all love Little Yachty.
And if you don't, go home and ask your any child you know between the ages of 10 and 30. Just ask them. They'll tell you.
Well, we have one of their sons in here, Sammy, and he's your son's one of his favorites. So she said she will get a picture with him. Oh, he wants us to fix it.
Fix it real quick. Yeah, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I love that. So you're going on tour, then what?
Going on tour, and then once we get back from tour, I'm going to be building my dream home.
What?
Yes, I'm working on building my dream home.
Okay, so wait a minute. You said that a couple of years ago that something happened in your life that took the wind out of you.
Yes.
And you literally said you got frozen in time.
Stole my spirit.
And now you're coming back.
And now I'm coming back.
And it's okay for it to take 2 years.
Yes.
That's what, y'all, it's okay for it to take 2 years for you to come back.
I think it's been 3. I think it's actually been 3. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. About 3 years ago.
Because this is like divorce in some people's world. Yours just happened to be, but it's the same.
Yeah. About 3 years ago, you guys probably know in Atlanta, a lot of celebrities were getting robbed. Their homes were getting robbed. And so one day, my daughter, it was New Year's Day. My daughter and I had gone out to Publix. We left the house and we live right down the street from Publix. And when we came back, someone had robbed my house. They entered my house and took a bunch of my personal things. And then they came back 2 weeks later and stole my car. Yeah. And so it was devastating. And, it just kind of took the wind out of me and it just stole everything from me. So I just kind of shut down.
Because it's almost like a divorce too. It's like violation.
It's definitely violation. Yeah.
And then you get scared to really live.
Yeah. And especially when you know it was specifically for you. Because they stepped over my neighbor's yard into my yard. So they were definitely, and I have them on video and they came in with big trash bags and just took stuff out. And so it was really scary.
Like $1 million.
Yeah. There's like worth of stuff. Just a bunch of stuff. And my car. Just all kind of things.
Man, and it took your soul.
It did.
So what did that look like?
Oh, scary. Like just kind of like
when you say it took my soul, what happened?
You stop talking. You stop. You're always watching over your shoulder. You've got security now. And I tell you what, I never looked at myself as being a celebrity. Like I'm just his mom.
Yeah.
I never thought I needed to go out with security or carry a gun or be armed. I never looked at it like, or watch what jewelry I had or what bag I was carrying. I never looked at it like that. So this was an eye opener for me because it let me know people are watching me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was really scary. It made me move different. I don't move the same way that I used to.
Like, what did it look like when you say, I quit talking? What did a day look like whenever you found yourself? Because there's some people watching this today that their robbery was divorce.
Yeah. Staying in the house, not going anywhere.
You felt yourself change.
Yeah, I stayed in the house. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't get on social media. I totally got off social media. And the place where we go wrong, because there were a lot of us, about 30 or 40 people that were robbed, and they were celebrity moms, celebrity wives, celebrity girlfriends, or whatever. No one talked about it. So no one really knew. And I think part of getting robbed is shame kind of comes a little bit with it. When somebody comes to your house and take from you, you don't really want to talk about it.
Because that's with divorce too.
Yeah.
Like, why would we find shame?
I don't know. For me,
to us?
It was a lot of shame. And then I'm going to tell you something else. As a Black woman, I really felt like, okay, now my insurance company is going to be looking at me and think I made this all up. When I showed them what all was taken from me. And it was kind of like they came in and they said, first thing they said when they came was like, we're going to tell you right now, we're going to run your credit. We're going to let you know right now, we're going to have to run your credit. And I was like, okay. And so they, of course, want to make sure that you haven't made this whole thing up, and so they kind of read you the right act, and they send people over, and they send a couple people over, and they ask you all these questions. And so then you have to go through the agony of that. When you're innocent. I think what saved me was that there were a lot of people in Atlanta, in Georgia, getting robbed. So they were getting call after call after call, and they caught my robbers with my things. So they knew this wasn't just made up. And then I had receipts and all the things you need to have. And so now the book came from being able to share and tell people how to get prepared for this life. I don't talk about that in the robbery in this book. That's in my second book. But this just gets people prepared when they do become these big celebrities. Because a lot of people don't talk about what comes with. A lot of people say, I want to be famous. I want to be rich. I want to be this. I want to be that. But they don't realize when someone comes to your house to service you and they see that car in the driveway, all of a sudden now the price has gone up. Or when you come and you need some help and someone Googles you, now the price has changed. People don't think about those things. When you go to buy a car, you go to do something.
It's sickening.
You can't do anything in your government name ever again. Your government name is gone. You now have become a whole corporation so that people can't find you. And a lot of people don't realize, and they make fun of people like the Kardashians and people like that, but it's almost not fun living in that life because you're not regular
And they
anymore.
always say things like, well, you're a public figure, so we get to do whatever. But you didn't ask.
Right.
Like, it's almost like even watching the LA fires.
Yes.
People are like, oh, well, they got more money.
Right.
It was their things.
Yeah.
And so I love that
Yeah.
about you, that you can, and I'm thankful you're being a voice, and I'm thankful that you're building your dream house now.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that you're coming up out of this thing and you're a voice to people to let them know, reset.
Yeah.
Come back. It's okay.
It's
You're
okay.
not alone.
Yeah.
And you do have that
Yeah.
duty, Vanita.
Yeah.
You have that duty
Yeah.
to be a voice for Black women, white
Yeah.
women.
All women. And to let people know if it
Yes.
happened for me, because you couldn't have told me in a million years that I would be in this position. I thought I'd still be doing pharmaceutical sales, out there covering Georgia and Tennessee and just grinding every day. You couldn't have told me in a million years I would essentially be retired. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this 10 years. You couldn't have told me in a million years. So you never, ever know what blessings are going to come your way.
Like overnight.
Overnight. You just never know. You just never, ever know. I'm going to tell you something really quick, and I'm going to make it fast. Just a little message. And I wrote about this in my book.
Love it.
When I left high school, there were two things I always wanted. I always wanted to be an AKA, a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. Shout out to my sorors. I always said, I'm going to be an AKA. Yes.
I want to be.
Yes. I always
We're
used to
going to
say,
make us a sorority.
Yes.
We're getting coats.
Yes. I always used to tell people, I'm going to be two things. I'm going to be an AKA, and I'm going to drive a Range Rover. I used to always tell people this. When I get big, these are the things I'm going to do. So when I got an adult and I came to Georgia and I left college and I got in my professional job, I went and I tried to get this Range Rover. So the first time I went, they were like, no, can't do it. You're not getting no Range Rover today. We don't know what the credit, the job, I don't know, but you're not getting a Range Rover today. So I was like, man, all my life, I wanted my dream car, Lord. What am I getting ready to do? So anyway, I just went on with my life. Years went by. So then I get into pharmaceutical sales. So now I got this job and I'm working. Credit's good because I'm making sure everything is good. I'm making this money, almost at 6 figures. I'm doing good. I'm going to get my Range Rover now because that's my dream job. And I go to the Range Rover dealership and they're like, okay, well, it's not going to happen today. And I'm like, but Lord, like, okay, now you told me I can have whatever I want and I don't understand. I made sure my credit was right, got my income up. What is going on? So finally, I just left, and I forget what I was driving, started driving something else, and it kind of went, and I continued my career, my profession. But when my son became famous, that was the first thing. I said, Mama, you can have whatever car you want. So this time, when I went to the Range Rover dealership, the guy was like, so how are you going to be needing some financing? How are you going to be doing this?
I'm paying in cash.
Exactly. But the moral of the story, and I told this story in my book, and someone kind of got it misconstrued, is that a lot of times things don't happen when you want them to happen.
Come on.
A lot of times, God was telling me that's a big girl car. And you're not ready for this. Yeah, you got a good job, but you're not ready for the maintenance. You're not ready for this car. Just let me do what I'm going to do, because when I give it to you, you won't need any credit. You won't need a down payment.
You won't have no bills.
Exactly. So we have to be patient. We have to sit in this space, whether it's a job, a man, a car, losing weight. We have to be patient, and we have to continue to pray, because God's going to come. And when he
never
comes,
quit believing.
He's going to show up, and he's going to show out.
Girl.
You know what I'm saying? It's not about the car, but it's about having patience and knowing I'm going to give it to you, but when I give it to you, you're going to know it came from me.
He cares about cars.
Yeah.
Like if he puts a desire on your heart, it's okay for you to have it. You don't got to settle for a Pinto when your dream car is a Land Rover.
Exactly.
You're not a Range Rover or a G-Wagon. And don't let nobody stop you, or a Lincoln.
Right.
We're going to tell that story.
Go for it. So I like to just give people a little bit of that, just to encourage them, to let them know, you may not get it today. You may not even get it tomorrow. But you're going to get it. But don't give up,
Vanita, I love that. Okay, we're going to a break. I get so excited. I get so excited because God is in the blessing business.
Yes.
And I love, love, love when people are just lights, even no matter what situation they're going through. So we're going one more break, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask you another question.
Okay.
Y'all, we'll be right back right after this. Everybody, and welcome back. I have been with my girl Vanita, and man, you are just such a breath of fresh air. I am sitting here in a room with world changers. I call these women literal world changers, and moms, wives, pastors, business owners, several businesses.
Yes.
And it's just an honor for me to be able to bring you and sit you here. But I have one more question, because you're just killing it. We are wanting every one of you to go get this book, Raising a Rapper.
Yes.
This book is good for just business.
Yeah, and just moms who are who just have these different kids of today, and they're YouTubers, and they're not just rappers. I said raising a rapper because I raised a rapper, but you have NFL players, NBA players, YouTubers, DJs. All these kids have these new professions.
And now because of TikTok and Instagram, people are getting...
And they're making millions and millions of dollars. And a lot of times mom's like, well, how are you going to pay your bills doing that? But it really does happen. These kids are making a lot of money. So the best thing is just to get on board and help these kids, because they're going to do it. Amazon. Definitely they can go to Amazon.
Raising a Rapper, Vanita McCullen.
Yeah.
Man,
so that's just our story and just my little blueprint, because these kids are all going to do the same thing.
I really feel like, Vanita, that I've been really good at letting my kids fly, because people are always trying to put Lincoln and Morgan in a glass box. And I've let my boys just figure it out.
That's good.
And I think that if a lot of more moms would be like that, not make their kids be what they weren't, and making they actually living through their kids and forcing their kids to do things they don't want to do, and just
doing things we know, because that's all we know is a 9 to 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to end with this. You are a freaking fashionista.
Yeah.
When I tell you, like, there's not a lot of people that I'm like, oh, you bad.
You're so nice.
Because it's always extra. You are just, fabulous.
I just love it.
You love clothes and fashion. So have you always been that way?
I've always been that
Y'all
way.
got to go follow her page.
Always
What's your page
been
on
that
Instagram?
Way. Vanita McCullen. It's my name.
Yeah. Y'all, she's just like a little fashionista.
Yeah, I just love it. It's so much fun. Yeah. And I've got some products coming out, and I'll be sharing them with you. Some things I've got for your closet, and some things to help keep your closet organized. Yeah, like some things to help you with your handbags, to keep them in shape, and all these nice things. All things for your closet.
For people that don't have a lot of room.
But people who don't have a lot of room. Or they're people that just want to take care of their stuff. Yeah. We have all these nice handbags, and we want to take proper care of them to make them go a long way.
Honey, mine are like little trophies.
Yeah. Help keep them organized, keep them smelling good. All those kind of things.
So when's that going to be dropping?
Yeah. Hopefully by Valentine's Day.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to have it out there for you guys on Valentine's Day. So follow my page, Vanita McCullen, and it'll be popping up. Not yet.
Vanita!
It's under construction, because I've got to get this on there.
Right,
so in the closet with V. That's my brand. In the closet with V. It's coming.
yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna need you to get that popping this week.
Yeah.
Like you really do before this podcast.
Yeah.
Like when this
Before
podcast
this
airs,
Yeah.
okay, it's VanitaMcCollum.com. You're welcome. And it's gonna be live.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be able to shop.
Yeah. And shop from my closet too.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
Because I've got lots of stuff
Girl,
that I
I'd
need
love to
just
play
get
in
rid
your
of.
closet. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember on one of your like I get ideas and I go buy it. Like I take little screenshots.
Do you really?
Yes. It was a pair
so
of
kind.
it was a
What
pair
was it?
it was the Gucci shoes with the Gucci's all on the bottom.
Oh.
And I ordered them like that. I took a screenshot of it and I sent it to my
I'm
guy.
gonna get these.
I did too. I even preached in them, but now I've lost weight, so it's easier for me to walk in them because they're huge.
Yeah.
They're like this
The
tall.
platforms like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
keep being fabulous.
I love it. And you got to have something. I don't have no man, so I got to look good. You know what I'm saying? You know?
So what's your fashion, who's your fashion icon?
Oh my gosh, I've got lots of
Me?
people.
You're like me?
Yeah.
I ain't got one.
Yeah, I do. I just look at a lot of different people. A lot of people inspire me.
Me
but
too.
I just do my own thing because I'm not 25. I'm not 35. I'm not going to go any further than that. But so you have to, I like to dress to par, but still keep it a little fun.
And I do love that about you. You're not out there trying to look like you're...
Yeah, I try to dress my age, but still be fashionable, but still be classy. You know what I mean? So I kind of give it a little bit. So people will want to, wear the things that I wear.
I remember I ran into you in Neiman Marcus, and you had that pantsuit on and those Lincoln tennis shoes. I was like, she's so cool.
Yeah, and keep it fun. And then I have young kids, so they keep me young too.
Yeah.
And then my son's very fashionable, so it just never stops. Yeah.
So is your daughter amazing?
Oh, yeah. She is too.
She's powerful in her own right.
Yeah, she's 21, but she's pulling
like
up
you?
the rank. She does. A younger version.
Really?
A beautiful version. Yeah. A lot of people say we look alike. Yeah, but she's 21, so she's much younger. Back when everything was up back then.
All we gotta do is stand on our heads.
There you go.
Always look up like this.
Yeah. Or go get us a good surgeon, whichever one.
Girl, listen, I'm here for surgeons too.
Yeah.
I will. I told everybody all the time.
Me too.
I'm getting a facelift.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing it when everything's sagging. I'm doing it when I can enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm
on board
55.
for that.
55, I'm headed.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
And I'm gonna be just like this.
Yeah. Pull it all back. Have a permanent smile.
You watch.
People are like, Pastor Kim's always smiling.
My husband tells me all the time, and he's like, why you always gotta laugh with your mouth open? I think it's because I'm just so happy.
You are.
I am so happy.
You are always happy.
I'm happy.
That is so good.
And even if I'm not, I'm like,
still
happy.
smiling. Yeah.
I'll just think of something funny. Or I'll look at somebody and be like, man, I'm glad I'm not like you.
Exactly. But that's good though.
Yes,
People
I'm glad
like
I'm not
that.
mean like you.
And you're so relatable. People like that about you. You're so relatable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I keep saying I'm gonna grow up.
Touch a lot of people. Yeah.
I
No,
ain't
stay
never
where
gonna
you
grow
are.
up.
Yeah.
I'm staying where I'm at.
Yeah.
I love it.
People like that.
Thank
They
you.
like relatable. People like people they can relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love you.
I love you.
Y'all go get her book,
Thank
Raising a
you.
Rapper.
Yes.
And literally, I'm going to stay on her butt.
Yes.
Because
I am.
this is a brand right here.
Yeah.
And you ain't got
It
no
is,
reason. I
yeah.
know that you are momager and you are raising bosses and doing amazing things.
But I do got to
you
get back
are
to
a
me.
brand.
Yeah, I got to get back to me. You're right.
Yeah,
I do.
and I'm proud of you because it's been it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's time for you to come back and let them little punks know.
Yeah, that's what my friends say. You got to get back doing
You
you.
don't
and
got
your
a
podcast,
choice.
doing all your stuff. Yeah. I'm going to get back to me.
I tell these girls sitting in this room, you have a duty, and you, Vanita, have a duty.
I do. You're right. I'm going to
God has given you the platform. God has given you, God, you raised a freaking boss.
Yeah.
You did that.
I did. You're right.
And so now you have a duty to help others
Yeah.
get in their place. And I believe that's what we're here for. Everyone in this room, that's
and
what
help
y'all
their
are
kids
here for.
and themselves. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Well, y'all give it up for sweet
you.
Vanita.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
I love
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Y'all
God bless
listen.
you.
Make
bless
sure
you.
that you check her out. Go get her book, Raising
Yes.
a Rapper.
Yes.
She is what you see is what you got. She's the sweetest thing on the planet. Men, you cannot slide into her DMs. You have to go through realtalkkim.com.
Yes.
And let me vet you
Yes.
before you try to hit on my girl
love that.
because he's coming. I feel it. I feel like 2025 is a year.
You
I do
think?
for husbands. Yes.
Okay, we're
I
going to
do.
claim it.
In Jesus'
We're
name.
gonna claim in
One,
Jesus'
I'll put
name.
10,000 a fight. 2 will put 10,000. All right. So y'all, I love you so much. Thank you for following. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing this. And listen, leave comments. Like leave comments below because we love to read what you're getting out of all these episodes. And this one, I hope you got that it ain't never too late to get back up again. Even if you've gone through something in your life that has taken your breath away or stole your soul. Somebody stole your soul. Somebody erased you. Somebody took something that wasn't there. You today have to pull yourself up and let's go. I love you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.